The first sensation was disorientation, not the gentle swirl of nebula I was accustomed to, but a jarring wrench, a sudden compression of my being. One moment, I was coalescing near a newborn star. The next, I was here. Here was a place of oppressive darkness, a village huddled beneath a sky perpetually veiled in shadow. A sickly, phosphorescent moss clung to the thatched roofs of the houses, providing the only illumination, casting an eerie green glow that did little to pierce the gloom. My form, no longer the vast and diffuse energy I knew, was now contained, shaped a humanoid silhouette of shimmering sapphire light. I was trapped. The village, known as Duskwood, felt ancient, steeped in sorrow and forgotten rituals. The houses were built close together, their windows small and shuttered, as if guarding secrets from the encroaching night. A perpetual dampness permeated everything, clinging to the air like a shroud. The silence was unnerving, broken only by the occasional creak of timber or the distant howl of something unseen. As I drifted through the narrow streets, a figure emerged from the shadows. He was tall and gaunt, with hollow cheeks and eyes that burned with an unnerving intensity. He stopped before me, his gaze unwavering. "You," he croaked, his voice raspy like dry leaves skittering across stone. "You are the star thief." I recoiled, or rather I would have had I a body to do so. "Star thief? I am no thief. I do not even know where I am," he scoffed. A dry, humorless sound. "Do not play coy with me, creature of light. The eternal flame has been extinguished. The heart of Duskwood is gone, and you appeared only moments before its demise. You bear the mark of the trespasser." I looked down and saw a faint, pulsating emblem, a circle bisected by a jagged line, glowing faintly on my ethereal form. I had no memory of it, no idea how it came to be there. "I swear I have no knowledge of this," I pleaded, my voice a synthesized whisper that seemed to ripple through the still air. "I am lost. I was brought here against my will." He narrowed his eyes, suspicion warring, with a flicker of something akin to fear. The flame was the only thing that kept the nighthounds at bay. Now we are doomed. ... Before I could respond, a group of villagers emerged from the surrounding houses, drawn by the commotion. They were a grim-faced lot, their faces etched with hardship and despair. They carried torches, their flickering light casting dancing shadows that amplified their already gaunt appearances. They eyed me with undisguised hostility. "He's the one, isn't he, Elias?" A woman with sunken eyes demanded, her voice laced with bitterness. Elias, the man with the book, nodded grimly. "He bears the mark. ... The villagers surged forward, their torches held aloft like weapons. I felt a surge of panic, a primal instinct to flee even though I had no clear destination. "Wait!" I cried. "I am innocent. I can help you." My words were lost in the rising tide of anger and fear. They closed in, their faces contorted with hatred. I knew then that I would not be able to reason with them. I was an outsider, a scapegoat for their despair. With a surge of energy, I lashed out, not to harm, but to disorient. A wave of light emanated from my form, momentarily blinding the villagers. I spent the next few days, or what I perceived as days, evading the villagers, hiding in the shadows, desperately trying to understand my situation. I learned more about Duskwood and its plight. The eternal flame, I discovered, was a magical artifact that had protected the village from the horrors that lurked in the eternal night. It was kept in a sacred chamber beneath the village elder's house, guarded by ancient wards and rituals. The Nighthounds, as Elias had called them, were creatures of pure darkness, drawn to the absence of light. With the flame extinguished, Duskwood was now vulnerable to their depredations. I also learned about the village elder, a woman named Lyra, who was revered for her wisdom and her connection to the flame. She was said to possess powerful magic, passed down through generations of her family. But Lyra had disappeared shortly before the flame was extinguished, leaving the village in a state of chaos and despair. My investigation led me to a hidden chamber beneath the village square. It was there, amidst dusty tomes and forgotten artifacts, that I discovered a clue. Dot? Could it be? Was this why I was brought here? Not to steal the flame, but to restore it? Hope flickered within me, a small ember in the oppressive darkness. But I knew that convincing the villagers of my innocence would be a challenge. They were blinded by fear and prejudice, convinced that I was their enemy. I needed to find proof, something that would clear my name and reveal the true culprit behind the flame's demise. My search led me back to Elias. I had noticed him observing me from the shadows, his eyes filled with a strange mixture of suspicion and curiosity. Elias, I said, materializing before him in a deserted alleyway. He jumped back in surprise, clutching his book tighter to his chest. You! What do you want? He demanded, his voice trembling slightly. I want to know the truth, I said. Why are you so quick to condemn me? What do you know about the flame's disappearance? He hesitated, his eyes darting nervously. I know nothing. I only want to protect my village. Protect it by condemning an innocent being? I challenged. I have learned about the ritual to rekindle the flame. He stared at me for a long moment, his expression unreadable. Finally, he sighed, his shoulders slumping with resignation. I have my doubts, but I see the desperation in your eyes. Very well, I will tell you what I know. He led me to his house, a small, cluttered dwelling filled with books and scrolls. He explained that he was a scholar, dedicated to preserving the history and traditions of Duskwood. He had been researching the eternal flame for years, searching for ways to strengthen its power. She had been spending long hours in the sacred chamber, performing unknown rituals. Elias suspected that she was tampering with the flame, trying to harness its power for her own purposes. I tried to warn her, Elias said, his voice filled with regret. I told her that she was playing with forces she did not understand, but she would not listen. She claimed that she was acting in the best interests of the village. The night the flame was extinguished, Elias had seen Lyra fleeing the village, disappearing into the darkness. They were too blinded by their reverence for Lyra to consider the possibility that she had betrayed them. I believe she stole the flame's essence, Elias said. She must have found a way to extract its power, leaving behind only an empty shell. His words resonated with a chilling certainty. It explained everything. Lyra's secretive behavior, her sudden disappearance, the mark on my chest. She must have used my arrival as a distraction, framing me for her crime. But why? What was she planning to do with the flame's essence? Suddenly, a chilling howl echoed through the village, closer than before. We don't have time for this, I said. We need to find Lyra and recover the flame's essence before it's too late. Elias nodded grimly. I know where she might have gone. There is an ancient shrine in the Whispering Woods, a place where she used to commune with the spirits. It is a dangerous place, but it is our only hope. We gathered a small group of villagers who were willing to trust us, armed them with torches and whatever weapons they could find, and set out into the darkness. The Whispering Woods were a terrifying place, a tangled mass of ancient trees whose branches clawed at the sky. As we ventured deeper into the woods, the night hounds grew bolder, their howls growing louder and more frequent. We could feel their presence, a chilling sense of dread that permeated the very air we breathed. The torches provided little protection, casting only small pools of light that did little to dispel the encroaching darkness. We finally reached the shrine, a crumbling stone structure hidden deep within the woods. The air around it crackled with an unnatural energy, a palpable sense of malevolence. She was standing before an altar, her eyes closed, her hands outstretched. She was chanting in a low, guttural voice, her body swaying rhythmically. Before her floated a swirling vortex of energy, a dark and twisted reflection of the eternal flame. Lyra! Elias cried. What are you doing? Lyra opened her eyes, her gaze cold and distant. I am claiming what is rightfully mine, she said. The flame's power was always meant to be wielded by me. I will use it to reshape this world, to banish the darkness forever. You are corrupting it. The flame is meant to protect, not to dominate. Silence, creature of light, she spat. You know nothing of the sacrifices I have made, the burdens I have carried. I will not let you stand in my way." With a wave of her hand, she unleashed a torrent of dark energy at us. The villagers scattered, screaming in terror. I absorbed the energy, feeling it course through my form, a burning, corrosive force that threatened to consume me from the inside out. I retaliated with a blast of pure light, forcing Lyra back. She unleashed another wave of energy, this time targeting Elias. He cried out in pain, collapsing to the ground. I rushed to his side, shielding him from further attacks. "Elias, are you all right? Go save the flame," he gasped. "Save Duskwood." I knew what I had to do. I had to confront Lyra, to sever her connection to the corrupted flame and restore its power. But I was no match for her in my current state. I needed to find a way to amplify my own energy, to tap into the source of my being. I remembered the inscription on the stone tablet, the ritual to rekindle the flame using a source of pure energy. I turned to the remaining villagers. "I need your help," I said. "I need you to focus your energy, your hope, your belief, and channel it into me. I need to become a conduit for the flame's power." They looked at me, their faces etched with doubt and fear. But they saw the determination in my eyes, the flicker of hope that I represented. One by one, they nodded, their faces hardening with resolve. They gathered around me, their hands outstretched, their eyes closed. They began to chant, their voices rising in unison, a powerful incantation that resonated with the ancient magic of Duskwood. The villagers' hope, their belief, their unwavering faith, was amplifying my own power, transforming me into a beacon of light. I turned to Lyra, my form glowing with an intense radiance. "This ends now," I said, my voice resonating with newfound power. I unleashed a torrent of pure light at her, overwhelming her defenses, severing her connection to the corrupted flame. The dark energy dissipated, and the vortex of power collapsed, leaving behind only a flickering ember. Lyra screamed in rage and frustration, her body convulsing as the flame's power abandoned her. I focused my energy on the flickering ember, channeling the villagers' hope into it, nurturing it, coaxing it back to life. The ember began to glow, slowly at first, then brighter and brighter, until it erupted into a brilliant flame, casting its warm and comforting light throughout the shrine. The eternal flame was restored. The night hounds, repelled by the flame's power, retreated into the darkness. The whispering woods fell silent, the air cleansed of its malevolence. We returned to Duskwood, carrying the flame aloft like a beacon of hope. They had doubted me, condemned me, but in the end I had saved them. Lyra was imprisoned in the sacred chamber, her power stripped away, her dreams of domination shattered. Duskwood would decide her fate in due time. As for me, my purpose was fulfilled, the flame was restored, and Duskwood was safe. My task was complete, and I could feel myself beginning to fade, my connection to this world weakening. I bid farewell to Elias and the villagers, thanking them for their trust and their belief. They were no longer afraid of me, but saw me as a savior, a protector of their village. I was returning to the stars, to the vast expanse of the cosmos, carrying with me the memory of a village shrouded in darkness and the hope that I had helped to rekindle. My final sensation was expansion. The compression ceased, the darkness lifted, and I was once more among the stars. Not unchanged, I carried with me the echoes of Duskwood, the fear, the desperation, but also the resilience, the hope, and the unwavering belief in the power of light. I carried with me the understanding that even in the deepest darkness, a single spark could ignite a flame that could illuminate the world.